And so basically, UAE is the tax-free haven. So
Correct.
once you come here, your income is not taxed. But of course, the expenses are there. But at the same time, I tell people that, let's say if you're going to Canada, if you're going to the UK, if you're having the similar kind of salary that you're getting, let's say in the UAE, you're going to tax a lot in those countries. Let's say 40%, sometimes 35%, 30%, whatever the case is. So I tell the people that why don't you guys tax yourself? Because if you know that because once you are retired, you will not get those benefits that those countries are offering.
True.
So here in the UAE, you have to build that corpus or build that kind of portfolio yourself. So if you're thinking, let's say if you're getting 30,000 dirhams a month salary, and let's say you're not getting taxed anything, but same kind of salary if you're getting, let's say in Canada, let's say, then you will be taxed at, let's say, 35 to 40% of your amount. There you will be surviving anyways. So why don't you try doing the same in this country as well, and then build up the and on top of that, those people in Canada, let's say, they are also saving on top of that, let's say,
Tax.
tax. So why can't we do this here? Because the problem is here everything is very much accessible, reachable. So you can buy the car just going there, and even a while before, you don't have to have the credit history as well. Now it's things are in place now. So for a new person, it's distracting while coming to the UAE. What are some points before you go into other things? But what about the points people have to know while investing? Because I know a lot of scams as well. Not scams in terms of scams, but let's say there are things which are hidden to you while you're going into any of the investment. So if you can talk about that for in the perspective of a newcomer.
Sure. I mean, the example you just mentioned is awesome because, like you said, if someone is living, let's say, in Canada or in any Western country, the first thing that you get is actually you get taxed on your salary before the salary hits your bank account,
Yeah,
right? Which is something we don't know, we don't have in here, which is great. But the thing is, people usually complain about the taxes. Yeah, I'm paying taxes and whatnot, but then they adapt, right? So they're paying maybe 30% of their salary in taxes.
yes.
They consider it like this is the tax I'm paying for the government or for whatever the case might be,
Yes.
and they just continue. I mean, they adapt and move on. But here, I mean, a typical advice that I usually stand behind is like pay yourself first. And what do I mean by that? Just consider this, your saving as your tax for your future self. I mean, you're taking a small portion, small portion of your salary or of your income, and you're putting this aside,
Yeah.
either to save or to invest it, and this is basically for your future self. And the way I would like to do it, and because many people say, you know what, let me just pay the rent, and I go and buy that TV or that
Phone.
phone or fancy bag or whatever that is that I've been eyeing for a while. And then if I'm left with some money, maybe I'll save and invest them. So this is honestly, this is the wrong way to think about it. And the best way to go about saving is to pay yourself first. And what I mean again by paying yourself is like taking that portion of the salary as soon as it hits your bank account and putting it aside. And one way to do it while completely moving yourself out of the equation is to automate that. I mean, many banks allow you to create sub accounts, or maybe you could create another bank account in another bank, and as soon as your salary hits your, let's say you get paid on the last day of the month, and then you could create what we call standing instruction, which is like it's an instruction you tell your bank. Sometimes you could do it online, or in some cases by visiting the branch, and it allows you to take a small portion of the salary. You decide 2,000 dirham, 1,000 dirham, whatever that is, a small portion of your salary. It's automatically deducted from your main bank account, and this goes into a special savings account. So the thing is, once this is done automatically, you're no longer tempted to use that money for that TV or for that fancy camera, as we were discussing earlier, or that fancy stuff that you've been eyeing for a while. So this is how I believe paying yourself first and getting into the habit of paying yourself first. This is the best, I would say, strategy that will allow you to save and possibly invest on autopilot without you having to think about it.
Yeah. So